So the Clowns finally play football again. Our first time watching a football game this season. We're ready, we're excited, and that was one awful product in the first half. I live streamed the first half of this game, and it was a snooze fest. The second half was actually pretty good. It was so good that the lights went out. Yes, if you guys did not watch a Hall of Fame game last night, several lights went out during the second half of the Hall of Fame game, which caused a delay between the Jets and the Browns. At the time of the power outage, the Jets were winning 16-14, and of course, this ended up being approximately at 10:20 p.m., and it caused a 15-minute delay where then they went ahead and played the rest of the game. And obviously, the rest of the game happened, and the Browns won. Interesting. No, I really don't even think the Browns could have rigged this in any way. But it's just funny how finally the Clowns play football and they go ahead and there's a whole entire power outage. So let's go ahead and look at the game though and kind of break down what happened. So again, like I said, I did stream the first half of this game when the game was 16-7. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was the most boring, frustrating first half of a football game I've ever watched. And I watched the Broncos versus Colts game, so this was actually that bad. It was just like every time you thought it was going to be an easy play or a big play, it was either dropped or there was a penalty. And there was, I want to say, like 20 penalties in the first half of this game. It was like every drive you had 2 or 3 penalties, which is not really that surprising, but at the same time, it was just frustrating to watch because of that. And I kind of wish the refs just let them play and said, you know what, it's a preseason, we don't care. Now, the kickoff rule didn't really impact this game that much. I know going into this game, there was questions whether the new kickoff rule, we could fair catch at any point, was going to impact this game, but surprisingly enough, it really didn't. Actually, even going farther than that, before halftime, the Jets got the ball back with like 25 seconds left, and they actually returned the kickoff to the 50-yard line, and then got a couple plays and kicked a field goal to make it 16-7 at halftime. So because of that, they were actually able to, get an extra field goal because they didn't just fair catch the ball and get to the 25-yard line. But once the season does kick off and games actually matter, we're going to see really a lot more. I did not mean to click on that. Let me go ahead and go back here. But I will say one thing that was so frustrating, and this is so funny because Zach Wilson was playing in this game. For the first quarter and a half, I would say maybe like a little bit in the second quarter, he was playing this game, and he looked horrendous. And it's funny because he was playing against scrubs and backups and second and third string guys, right? No one really good. And it was what I think was 3rd and 1. He could not get a first down. He ran to get a first down, and somehow, some way, he was so slow that he got tackled when he was wide open for a first down run. And throughout the game, this was the, kind of overall thing that happened. But it blew my mind that I'm like, this is actually a former top 5 pick in the NFL. And don't get me wrong, Zach Wilson has never been known for the most, speed demon type of player. But it was just like a wide open run, and this guy could not make it for a first down. Which, it just blew my mind. I'm like, really? It's 3rd and 1, dude. You can't just, leap or at least, I don't know, hustle a little bit. And again, this game doesn't really matter, so I'm sure he wasn't giving his, 1,000% all. Well, maybe not, because at the same time, he is the backup quarterback. And if someone else plays good in preseason, the Jets could move on from him. So, I don't know if I would really be as confident if I'm Zach Wilson here to kind of be, willy-nilly in this game. This game actually does matter. Rodgers is the backup. Rodgers is the starter, and Rodgers recently came out and said he's going to be playing until he's 46. For the next 7 years, he's going to be on the Jets. I don't know how realistic that is, but you might want to do something, Zach Wilson, then, because if you want to be a starter in this league, you're going to have to go somewhere else. Now, overall, the Jets' offense was stalemate, and that was pretty much the best way to put it. The only touchdown they had came from Israel, which, you know, guy we talked about a lot in the NFL draft, and he actually looked decently okay. But again, like I said, it was like, I say decently okay, but there was like no big plays in this game. There was a couple. There was one huge throw by, I think it was Zach Wilson, actually. I want to say, yeah, I think it was to Malik Turner that was like 50 yards. Outside of that, nothing. This Jets offense, if they don't have Rodgers, they're going to be in a really bad situation. Well, if they don't have Rodgers, Hall, Garrett Wilson, you know, the whole of the stars, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, I guess you can't really say that because they didn't have anyone in. But still, though, Zach Wilson looked bad, man. If Zach Wilson's the starting quarterback, they're going to have a problem. Like, Rodgers needs to make sure he plays every single game, period. But, again, it is a Hall of Fame game. I don't want to look too much into this. I know it's the first game of the season, and, you know, I just kind of get my football brain, like, let's talk about this. Let's break this game down. But it's a Hall of Fame game. It's a Hall of Fame game, man. Browns actually, surprisingly enough, looked pretty competent. And there was a couple plays where they just were stupid. It was 3rd and 1. The guy ran the ball up the middle. He did get hit on the play, but there was, like, no actual, like, effort to dive forward with the ball to get a first down. Which, again, like I said, those situations, even though it's a Hall of Fame game, those guys, I mean, you want to make a roster, right? You're in a roster bubble. You dive for that ball. You dive for that first down. And it seemed like they just didn't care. Which really surprised me a lot. But, again, like I said, that was only a couple plays to talk about. There wasn't too many crazy great plays in this game. And again, it's a Hall of Fame game. But we're going to see how this all progresses over the next 4 weeks of the season. I will be live streaming all the Bengals preseason games, which will be more exciting because, you know, I'll actually like the team I'm watching versus the Clowns where, you know, I just wanted to see them lose in humiliating fashion. And going into halftime, it looked like they were going to, but somehow, some way, the second half was completely different. Now, I will give the Clowns one thing, though. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he made a couple really good throws in this game. And he was actually pretty serviceable. And when you look at the fact that, yes, obviously have Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson is their future franchise quarterback, they drafted him for a reason. I'm just saying, if Deshaun wasn't there, he could be pretty okay. I'm not saying he's going to be great, but I'm saying he's going to be serviceable. Somewhat serviceable. But no, overall wise, there wasn't really much to take away from this game other than the fact it was boring as all heck. It was absolutely typical Hall of Fame football. And, you know, usually people watch 1 and 2 drives. I watched the whole game. After I got off live stream, I just put it on my TV and watched it. It was a good football. This was ugly football, but you know what? It was something. It was like, you know, you're really hungry, right? And you're like starving hungry, and you're like, I just want to eat something. I don't care what it is. And then there's something you go to eat, and it's absolutely awful. It tastes disgusting, but you're like, it's something, okay? That's Clowns. That's a Clowns. That's what you just ate. Tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.